again, image trace, but what we're going to do first is embed the image. That way the image becomes part of the document like so, and we're going to duplicate it so that we have another copy of it up here. Now what we're going to find is that the shadows of this image are going to be difficult for Illustrator to figure out. So if I click image trace and I use the default mode right now, it gets the trees pretty good. If I click on my panel right here, and I could spend a little bit more time trying to boost my threshold, and you see it brings them back in, but it doesn't miss like a combined part of the image in the same color, which isn't great. So we're going to send this back to about 128 or so. 125 is fine. We're going to make sure that we ignore white. We don't want that background hardly ever. We'll then go ahead and explore what happens when we snap curves to lines. You'll see it doesn't make a big difference. If I zoom in over here, you can see snap curves to lines is gonna sort of soften, some of these strokes up right in here. So you actually don't want it. You want to maintain those curves. So we don't want to snap curves to lines. This is about as good as we're going to get as far as a trace goes, and we're going to click expand. Now, if we wanted to get that shadow back, here's a trick that we could do. We could copy and paste this so we have another one, and then I'm going to click up top here and just drag it down like so and position it right underneath. I might have to use my arrow keys to get it just lined up right. And in the properties panel, I can adjust the opacity to about 20%. And you'll notice that it now looks convincingly like a shadow. If you notice right here, this shadow is off to the side, so the position of the light source is a little bit different than what I have here. So what I could do, if I wanted to match that, is use the, not the scale tool here, but if I right click right below the eraser and go to the shear tool, then I can, while holding shift, snap this about 15 degrees like so, and then use my selection tool to line it up like this. Right, so sometimes when we're using the image trace tool, we have to use a combination of other techniques in order to ensure that what we're recreating is nice, crisp, and clean. And we can't just rely on the image trace tool by itself.